Hi guys, it's Miss Lamb.
And coming in from the side, opposite side as normal. Hi, I'm Mr. Lamb, and we're here to talk to you today about how to calculate slope. Last video, you learned what slope was. You learned like there are positive and negative slope. Today, we're going to learn how to calculate slope.
So this is all about the math. So our learning target, I can calculate slope, which we label as m in our equation, as a rate of change. Let's show what the change looks like using numbers.
Okay, so here we have a slope problem, right? We're actually going to use our table right here to find out what the slope of the line is. We can't see the slope of the line, we have to calculate it. You want to go ahead and do this one?
So the cool thing is you can pick any two numbers. I'm just going to circle the two that I want to pick. And I like to always start with my higher number on my y. Why do I start with the y? Because it's always the change in the rise over the run. So this is our rise, and this is our run. So 11 minus 3. And then because I started with this one, I have to go over here and start with this x. All right? So I'm going to get an 8 over a 2, which of course I could reduce to a 4 over a 1, which we could just simply say
we can just basically say the slope is
4.
And not only a 4, but a
positive 4.
Positive 4, which means we know that when we plot this, we already know because it was a positive 4, which way it's going to go.
Excellent. All right, next.
Okay, so this is the next one. Now this one's going to be a little bit weird because remember when we showed you how the different lines went, sometimes they were positive, sometimes they were negative, and sometimes they have a zero slope. This is going to be an example of a zero slope. Do you want to show it to them?
Sure. So I'm going to pick any two numbers, and I'm just going to pick the middle two. And again, I always start with my y, and they happen to be the same number. So I know it's going to be 2 minus 2. And I'm going to put that over, and it doesn't really matter which one I started with because they're the same. But I'm going to put negative 5 minus a negative 1. Which I know 2 minus 2 is 0, and once I see the 0, that's a big hint. And then using our integer rules, that's going to be a negative 4. So if you have nothing out of any number, you've got 0.
So this one has a slope of 0. So what would it look like? Well, if you guys, when you guys did the video on slope and what they look like, well, a 0 slope is just a straight line.
Yeah, it's just like
which makes
walking down
sense
the hallway.
because look at the y values. They're all 2s. Straight line.
So whenever you see that, you know, and you get that 0, you know it's a 0 slope. Moving on to the next one. Are you ready for this one, Mr. Lamb?
I think I am.
What two numbers are you going to pick?
Well, let's see. You pick the 2 middle. I'm going to pick the 2 bottom.
Okay.
Now let's see if I can get this right the first time.
Okay.
Okay, we're going to start with this pair. And so we're going to say 8 minus 7.
Okay.
And then there's the line that separates them. So I have my y values, 8 and 7. I started down here, so I better start with the 12 down here.
Start with the 12, yeah.
Minus 9. So I have 8 minus 7. Oh, I picked a good one. 1. I have 12 minus 9. Easy. 1. Ooh, fractions. You can have a slope that's a fraction?
Yes, you can, but it's not a very steep slope when it's
No,
a
I
fraction.
think it would look something like this. It wouldn't be very steep.
Yeah.
Because remember, it only goes up 1 for every 3
that it goes over.
that it goes over.
Yeah. But
So-
it still is positive.
That's right, it's still positive. It would take 3 blocks to go up 1 block. That's why it's not a very steep slope.
All right. And I think we have one more example.
We do.
And
Hold on, I get a pen to write with.
Okay, I'm going to go with the top two. And I'm not intimidated by big numbers, but I'm going to use the top two this time. All right, well, you know, personally, I like to start with a higher number. So I'm going to start with the 9 minus the 8. So I started with this pair right here, that y value. So that means I have to start with the 1 minus the 6. And that's a really big trick. Because if you end up switching them around, your slope,
change what your slope
yeah,
is.
your slope won't work. So 9 minus 8 is 1, okay? Looks like a fraction again. But 1 minus 6,
Well, is negative 5.
negative 5. So now I have a fraction slope, but it's negative. So it's going to be going something like
it's
this.
going to be a really small, right?
Really small
because
slope.
it's only going to go up 1 for every 5 that it goes over.
So it really looks like this, negative 1/5.
Excellent.
All right.
So that's pretty much what the slope,
Yeah.
calculating the slope off of 2 points is going to
And you
look
can
like.
pick any 2 points, just keep them logical.
Now, here we go. We got this last one. Now, this is completely different. Before we had the table, and we figured out what the slope is. Here we have the actual slope. So really, we could just make our own points here, right?
Right.
So let's pick our points off of this table.
Well, it looks like you have 3, 2 right here. Oops.
Oops, sorry, my fault. Oh no! I gotta go back.
And I gotta wait because I take.
There you go.
All right. So this one is 3, 2 in parentheses, and that one is.
Well, this is 5, right? 6, 7, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
All right. So 7, 5. We would do the same thing. We're gonna change. We're gonna see the difference in the y values. 5 minus 2 over 7 minus 3. Looks like we have a 3 over a 4. A 3/4.
3/4.
Can we check that? Let's rise from this point.
Okay, so let's see. I would go. Let's see. 3/4 would mean I go up 3
3 and then
and then
over.
over 4. We
Got
got it.
All right, next slide.
Good job.
So on this one, if you're confused, there is another video you're welcome to watch. And if you got it, go ahead and start working on your practice. Bye.